For the first time in its short history, the FIM Women's Circuit Racing World Championship has made the journey to Central France and the Circuit de Nevers-Manicourt. With the championship growing in stature and importance all the time, attendance at classic venues such as this presents fantastic opportunities, and we are in for more brilliant race action today. After a summer break of some 5 weeks, the FIM Women's Circuit Racing World Championship resumes its European tour here at Manicourt. Yesterday we saw a new face start from the front of the grid as Great Britain's Chloe Jones took her first ever Tissot Super Pole and enjoyed a stirring scrap with championship leader Maria Herrera all the way, but the Spaniard held on to take her 5th success of 2025 and double her championship lead over third place Beatriz Naylor to 18 points, while Jones closed the gap on Roberta Ponziani in third. Dave Goddard and Steve English live at trackside for race 2. Steve, there's every chance we could see a new winner here in France today.
Yeah, for Chloe Jones, she's been really strong in recent rounds, and yesterday in particular she had a very impressive performance, but just needs to go that little bit more to be able to beat Maria Herrera. But today could be the day. We've got 3 races left for the season, and the question mark has to be what Chloe's able to do to be able to start her winning run. The outside of front row, Beatrice Naylor has had a tough time, and it hasn't been an easy weekend for her at all.
No, she lost out some 9 points in the championship battle yesterday with Maria Herrera, now 18 points clear. Naylor suffering a spill in Super Pole, which restricted her early running and had to fight her way back up the order to take that third place from the second row of the grid. She's now ahead of Chloe Jones, who's pulled ahead of Sarah Sanchez in the championship. Incidentally, Sarah Sanchez will not be racing today. Crashed out of the top 5 in yesterday's race 1 and has suffered broken bones in her left hand, so will not be racing today. Nor will Emily Bondi, the home rider from France. An early tangle with Sonia Lloyd in yesterday's race left the Frenchwoman with a broken middle finger on her left hand, so she's not able to race today either. Sonia Lloyd will be serving a long lap penalty as a result of that incident as well. So here's our pole sitter, Chloe Jones, led from her first ever Super Pole in race 1. Could have won if were it not for running wide at turn 8 and dropping briefly to 4th early on. That first victory not too far away though, I'm sure, for the British rider.
Yeah, could well be around about 45 minutes away, and certainly for Chloe, the performances that she's been able to have this year, she's made a massive step forward. She came in for the last round last year and looked very impressive, but what she's done this year has been really good to be able to go bar to bar so often at the front.
Taking pole again by virtue of setting fastest lap in race 1 yesterday. Second fastest lap went to the championship leader, Maria Herrera. It was made to work very hard by Chloe Jones in the first race. Kept up her record of 1 win at every round so far in 2025. A podium finish in every race as well. Will today be her first double win? Alongside her will be Beatriz Naylor. A crash in Tissot Super Pole on Friday, as we said, did not hold the Spaniard back. She was on the tail of the lead battlers throughout race 1, making it 11 consecutive podiums. That equals Anna Carrasco's record in the WCR.
Yeah, and certainly for Beatrice, she needs to find that step. She had some problems yesterday and issues with the front forks as well, and for her it's one of those things where she needs to just make that step in this race because she hasn't had the speed, she hasn't had the pace this week.
So front row, the 3 main contenders then for this victory. It will be an 11-lap race around the Circuit de Nevers-Manicourt. The track temperature up at 32 degrees, so about twice the temperature we saw in this morning's race warm-up. Second row of the grid, Roberta Ponziani, her second lowest grid position of the year yesterday, but she bounced back to top. A good scrap with Lucy Boudicil for 4th place and remain ahead of Chloe Jones for 3rd in the championship by some 12 points.
Yeah, and for Roberta, she's obviously trying to hold on to that 3rd in the championship. With Sanchez out of action, it means that she's got a real chance to open up a commanding lead now going into the final round of the season at Jerez in a few weeks, in the middle of next month.
The Subaru safety car moves away, so we're now less than 5 minutes from start time here at Manicourt, our second race of the weekend for the Women's Circuit Racing World Championship. I've got a very good feeling about this race indeed. Completing the second row of the grid, we will see alongside Roberta Ponziani, Lucy Boudicil, one of 5 French women racing here this weekend. We have lost Emily Bondi, as you mentioned, of course, with that broken finger from that tangle with Sonia Lloyd down in the midfield early on in yesterday's first race, and Natalia Rivera will complete the second row. This is Lucy Boudicil. Her recent upsurge in form continued with her first ever front row start after an excellent Super Pole, and she was in the lead quartet early on before dropping into the clutches of Ponziani late on in race 1. Alongside her it will be Natalia Rivera, the young Spaniard. Excellent event so far for the 18-year-old. Her best ever Super Pole position followed by her best ever race finish yesterday. She lines up on the second row once again. Her first top 5, I think, will be her aim here.
Yeah, it was a good performance yesterday to be able to ride like she did, and coming away with a top 6 was very impressive. First time this season she's been inside, second time this season she's been inside the top 10, so good effort from Natalia, and she's riding well around this track.
It certainly is, yes. Next on the grid will be Paquita Ruiz. Not the best of weekends for her so far. A disappointing super pole compounded when she ran wide on the first corner of race 1 over the gravel, but fought her way back to 13th. Kept her record of points finishes in every race this year.
She ran off turn 1 and was still able to recover through to score some points, so had some speed and did a decent job, but from the third row of the grid she'll be expecting to be able to try and challenge for a top 5.
Taylor Ralph and Mallory Dobbs completing the third row of the grid, but Chloe Jones and Maria Herrera will be the ones to watch at the front of the field, with Beatriz Naylor second in the championship, giving chase. Second race of the weekend, just moments away for the WCR. The FIM Women's Circuit Racing World Championship is on new turf this weekend here at the Circuit de Nevers-Manicourt, but it was a familiar face at the top in race 1 as Maria Herrera made it 5 wins out of 9 this season. Chloe Jones was the star of the day with her maiden Tissot Super Pole, and she lines up at the front here once again, having taken fastest lap in race 1, while Beatriz Naylor's third place ensures the title battle will go all the way to the final round at Jerez in October. Steve English alongside me for race 2. Steve, every sign we'll see a resumption of battles from yesterday here.
Yeah, we should be able to see Chloe Jones and Maria Herrera going bar to bar all the way through this race. Beatriz Naylor needs to make a step forward. She had some big problems yesterday, and for her it's just about trying to make sure that she's able to go with them all the way through this race. Yesterday she just lost that ground, and important to be able to stick with them. Worth keeping an eye on Lucy Budasal as well. She made a good start yesterday, was battling at the front before she lost track and lost contact with the lead group. She could well be a contender for this one as well. And the third row of the grid, pretty action-packed as well. Paquita Ruiz, she ran off the track yesterday, and the number 46 machine came through to still score some points. Taylor Ralph, one of her better performances of the season, and able to fight all the way through that race. And Mal Dobbs running inside the top 10 yesterday for the first time this year.
Yeah, it's good to see Mallory Dobbs undergoing a bit of an upsurge in form as well, the popular American. A couple of non-starters from those who raced in yesterday's events. We don't have Sarah Sanchez. She was running in the top 5 yesterday when she crashed in the early stages. She suffered broken bones in her left hand and will not be racing today, nor will Emily Bondy, one of the 5 French riders present this weekend. She tangled with the American Sonia Lloyd on the first lap of yesterday's race. She suffered a broken finger on her left hand and is unfit to race today. Sonia Lloyd will undertake a long lap penalty as being identified as at fault in that incident. So we've got 4 French riders on the grid. We saw some good performances from our 2 French wildcards yesterday as well. They'll line up 10th and 11th on the grid here. Lina Vieillard from the French Championships, and also the French Supersport rider Justine Pedemonte. They've put in some strong lap times so far. Just behind them on the grid, Jessica Howden. She had to come through from the back of the grid yesterday, had a penalty after Superpole, but came through to pick up a couple of points. And the other newcomer this weekend is Katie Hann, the British rider for Carl Cox Motorsports, replacing New Zealander Billy Fuller in their lineup. She finished down in 21st yesterday, but it's all about learning her craft at World Championship level. So Maria Herrera leads the championship standings by 18 points, doubled her lead over Beatriz Naylor with that 5th win of the season yesterday. She's had 1 win at every round this year, looking for her first double victory across a weekend in 2025 here. Ponziani holds 3rd place, with Chloe Jones now in 4th ahead of Sarah Sanchez, who, as we said, is absent for this race.
And Chloe Jones very much in play for 3rd in the World Championship as well, because coming into this race only 12 points down on Ponziani, and with all the form for the last 3 rounds, and could well move herself up into 3rd in the championship standings by the end of today's race.
Riders pull into position. It's a very warm day here in the centre of France, almost 25 degrees air temperature, 33 degrees now in track temperature. Chloe Jones on the pole for the 2nd time this weekend on the JBMotorsports machine. These machines identical Yamaha YZF R7s. This will be an 11-lap race. Looks like the grid is into line, the green flag is waved. at the back of the field. Round 10 of the season for the Women's World Circuit Racing Championship here at Manicourt. The red lights are on. The second time this weekend here at Manicourt. WCR is go. Great start by Chloe Jones. Great start by Maria Herrera. I think the championship leader just has the edge into the first corner. Herrera takes the early lead. Jones slots into second place. It's Beatriz Naylor in third ahead of Roberta Ponziani. They've all made it round the first corner in this second race. Okay, the first two breaking away very slightly as they head through the long right-hander at Estoril. Then it's out towards the back of the circuit, then up towards the Adelaide hairpin for the first time, with Maria Herrera in the lead.
Best start of the year for Taylor Ralph as well in the number 8 machine. She's gone with them and she's trying to attack now Lucy Budisal to move into 5th position.
Chloe Jones up on the outside as they fan out 4 and 5 abreast down towards the Adelaide hairpin, the slowest corner on the circuit for the first time. Chloe Jones around the outside takes the lead under braking. Great move by Chloe Jones to take the lead, and she takes off down towards turns at 6 and 7, the Nürburgring chicane, with the lead ahead of Herrera. Battle is instantly resumed from yesterday's race. Third place it is Beatriz Naylor, then Lucy Budisal up into 4th place. Taylor Ralph with that cracking start, the Australian up into P5, and Natalia Rivera in 6th. Ponziani's down to 7th.
Yeah, Ponziani losing a lot of ground there at this stage, and you can see at the front of the field for Chloe Jones, just hitting all of her markers. Different lines through the 180 corner between Maria Herrera and Chloe Jones there, but not really enough that's going to separate them out there. But the front 4 just edging that ever so slightly bit away from the second group. That's where it's important for Ralph in 5th to be able to try and just close back on to Budisal.
Similar pattern to we saw in yesterday's race, the first 4 breaking away slightly, but now Roberta Ponziani is coming back, making a move there at turn 13 on Natalia Rivera up the inside into P6 now. Her next target is Taylor Ralph on that number 8 machine with the pink and yellow crash helmet, the ever exciting Australian. Having a look on the inside there, Ponziani doesn't get the inside line away for turn 15, then into this quirky little final chicane. We could see some manoeuvres through there in the closing laps of this race, but Chloe Jones it is who leads by 0.3 of a second as they cross the line to complete lap number 1. Herrera in second place. Naylor is in third position. The 2 going with them are Budisal, Ralph, Ponziani and Rivera. There's about a 7-rider breakaway at the front of the field, with Beatriz Naylor just running a little bit wide there. Lucy Budisal did as well as they came into turns 2 and 3.
Just for Chloe Jones as well, from a standing start, only 0.3 of a second slower than yesterday's fastest lap. So it's very impressive from the get-go from the number 15 as Herrera swoops around the outside to take the lead down in towards the Adelaide hairpin. But this is one of those key overtaking places. This is where you can use the slipstream to set a move up, or you can be like Budisal in 4th position trying to come through on the 36 of Beatriz Naylor.
Didn't quite work there around the outside, or did it? Yes, it did. Budisal is in front as Chloe Jones retakes the lead on the exit of the Adelaide hairpin down towards the Nürburgring chicane. The right, then the left, then down to the long left-handed sweeper of turn 8. Very easy to run wide here. We saw Chloe Jones do that in yesterday's race and dropped to 4. She went a little wide there, but holds the lead this time ahead of Herrera. There's Naylor, Budisal. Ponziani has recovered from her slow start, back up into 5th position ahead of Taylor Ralph, Natalia Rivera. Those 7 have broken away now by about 3/4 of a second from Mallory Dobbs, who heads the second group in 8th place, ahead of Avalon Lewis, the New Zealander, and Paquita Ruiz still having not the best of weekends. She's down there completing the top 10.
If you're Natalia Rivera on the number 20 machine, you've got to clear Taylor Ralph quickly, because you can see there Ralph just losing out those little bits of lap time compared to Ponziani once she came through, so maybe already out of contact with that top 5.
Down towards turn 15 come the leaders, and Rivera is having a look here as Taylor Ralph goes wide. There could be a move made into the final chicane, and yes, she goes through.
Ralph loses this spot. She's going to lose more positions as well. She jumped the start. She's going to have a double long lap penalty.
Oh, what a shame for Taylor Ralph. We know she'd made a quick start there, when she was up into 5th place at one point, but it was a little bit too good, and a jump start does equal that double long lap penalty. That spoilt it for the Australian, as our 3 leaders have broken away very slightly now. Beatriz Naylor back up into 3rd place now ahead of Lucy Budisal, and going after Jones and Herrera, who are renewing their rivalry from yesterday. Roberta Ponziani, fastest lap of the race, recovering from her poor start, as Herrera up the inside through the flick of turn 4, the right-handed kink there down the back straight towards the Adelaide hairpin. She retakes the lead once again. Now is Chloe Jones going to try and retake on the exit once again? There's confirmation of that penalty for Taylor Ralph, who is currently in 7th place. That's going to drop her back out of the points almost certainly. She's ahead at the moment of Avalon Lewis, who's just got ahead of Mallory Dobbs. Maria Herrera has held the lead as they come through the Nürburgring chicane down towards turn 8 this time. Beatriz Naylor looking on from 3rd place. Ponziani recovering still all over the back of Lucy Budasel, and Rivera now rather on her own in 6th position. She's dropped back a little from the first 5, who are covered by just over a second. Chloe Jones on the inside there as they come down towards the right-handed turn 11. This is the entry to the Imola double sweeper there. Spectacular section of circuit. Herrera a little bit wide on the entry to turn 13 there. Jones not close enough to capitalise though as they head out of turn 13, the slight left of 14 under the bridge, and then down towards the hard braking zone for turn 15 and the final chicane. Great section of circuit this is, as Herrera continues to lead the way. We'll see what the gap is this time through. 5 of them line astern through that chicane, taking plenty of curb. Very easy to lose your front wheel over the curbs there. 0.32 of a second is the lead for Maria Herrera ahead of Chloe Jones. Now the faller towards the back of the field, Madalena Simoes, the Portuguese rider, returning to racing over the last couple of years after some 5 years out of the sports. She's down, but the main thing is she's up and walking away. We'll try and see what happened here. It's at turn 13.
Yeah, just losing it on the entry into 13, and that's down and out of this one. But you can see here at the front, well, you can see from the other shot just how that incident happened for her. But for the front of the field, you can see for Herrera still able to defend into turn 5. But Naila on the 36 has probably been the most aggressive rider in the group down in towards turn 5, and she's done a good job just to keep holding on to those positions.
Changed the 4th place there as well. Roberta Ponziani has come through into the top 4, looking for the 4th podium of her career. She had a win on home soil at Cremona in Italy earlier this season. The only rider other than Naila and Herrera to have won a WCR race this season. Those top 5 have really broken away here from Natalia Rivera in 6th position on the number 20. Ralph and Lewis still together. So Ralph, I don't think, has yet taken those 2 long lap penalties for jumping the start. She's still there in P7 at the moment.
And the reason for that is she's got 5 laps to take both those penalties. She's trying to make sure she's able to open up enough of a gap to the riders at the bottom end of the point scoring positions to try and give her that buffer.
We'll see how much she can open up then. The last point score at the moment is Isis Carreño, the South American rider from Chile, returning from foot injuries sustained in Spanish championships this weekend, and she's about 4.7 seconds behind Taylor Ralph at the moment as the leaders come through to the final chicane once again. Over the line they go. The lead gap has come down by about 0.4 of a second between Herrera and Chloe Jones, who still holds that 2nd place ahead of Beatriz Naila. Ponziani in 4th. They've dropped Lucy Budasel very slightly. She's about half a second behind Ponziani now. So are we going to see our top 4 start to pull away from the French woman?
Same as what happened in yesterday's race around this stage. Budasel just started to lose contact with the group, and it could well end up being a lonely race for her if she's not able to latch onto the back of the 96 of Ponziani.
Up to the inside now, coming through into turn 5. Chloe Jones will pull ahead on the entry to the Adelaide hairpin, and Naila's going to have a go as well up the inside for 2nd place. Is she going to get P2? Yes, Herrera goes down to 3rd. Good slipstreaming there by Chloe Jones and by Beatriz Naila. They go 1 and 2. Now Naila will be desperate to try and get to P1 here if she's going to try and close the gap in the championship on the rider she has just overtaken Maria Herrera, but Chloe Jones now is going to get her head down and get the throttle twisted right on as she tries to escape at the front. Herrera takes the tighter line through turn 8, can't quite get up alongside Beatriz Naila for 2nd, but now battle is really joined between our top 3, and Ponziani and Budasel have a grandstand seat behind them as they try and make it 5 fighting for the lead. Chloe Jones trying to get away, but Beatriz Naila is really on it. She has a look there on the inside going into the 2 twin sweepers at Imola. Jones will have to get the entry right here for the right-hander at turn 13. Naila's not close enough. Herrera under pressure from teammate Ponziani on the Clint forward machines in the turquoise colours there as well, and Budasel's closed back up as well. Battle is really joined here at the front of the field.
Yeah, you'd be surprised if Ponziani tries to force too much of an issue against Herrera, but Jones and Naila at the front of the field doing a good job on this lap, and for Herrera, still very much trying to attack against those riders in front of her, but she wants to make sure she's able to avoid making a mistake as well, and you don't want to cost yourself a podium position at this stage of the race. She wants to make sure that she's able to keep that watch and brief, set up and move then into turn 5, the safest overtaking opportunity of the lap.
Less than a second covered our top 5 at the end of that 5th lap out of 11 in this 2nd race of the weekend for the Women's Circuit Racing World Championship. Their first ever visit to Manicure, and Maria Herrera is fighting back as they come along the back straight towards the Adelaide hairpin, through the kink of turn 4 in the middle of it. Beatriz Naylor trying to make a move for the lead. They're absolutely together. They could be 5 wide here into the hairpin. Look at this. Who's going to come through this with the lead? Look at Budasel up the inside on the number 70. She's gained 4 places in one move. That's sensational from Lucy Budasel. She takes the lead. Chloe Jones gets the cut back, though, on the exits. And is she going to retake the lead here? Can Budasel hold it? Yes, she can. That is a fantastic move for Lucy Budasel. 5th to 1st in one move.
Yeah, it shows what can happen down in towards turn 5 there as we move into the second half of this race. But Lucy, we've seen that speed this weekend. We've seen it also at Donington earlier in the season. So for Budasel, she's been able to make a big step forward from Saturday to Sunday. At one stage, it looked like she was just getting dropped ever so slightly from the group. So she's done well to collect it.
Well, the best finishes that Lucy Budasel has had is, as you say, Steve, at Donington she had a pair of 4th places. She's yet to even get on the podium this season. Could she take a home win? Look at the way Roberta Ponziani is going now. She's relegated Maria Herrera down into 4th place. Her teammates up the inside at turn 13. Chloe Jones diving down the inside there, retakes the lead from Lucy Budasel. This is more like a Supersport 300 race at the moment between these 5 at the front of the field. Budasel's going for the inside under braking for turn 15. Chloe Jones says, no, you're not, and holds the lead with Ponziani and Herrera next. Beatriz Naylor has been relegated back to P5. This is fantastic stuff. Just
behind this as well, it looks like Taylor Ralph hasn't taken her long lap penalty yet, and by my reckoning that's 4 laps, so she's now run out of time to be able to do that, because it'll be lap 5 and then she'll still have 1 more to take.
So possibly further sanctions incoming there. We'll wait and get notification on that as the 2 Clint Forward racing machines together there. Ponziani ahead of Maria Herrera. Now this would be the first time I think this season that Maria Herrera will finish off the podium if she stays down in 4th place. She's going for the outside. They're not going to go 5 wide again, surely. Oh yes, they are, coming up towards the Adelaide hairpin. Maria Herrera on the outside. She's gone from 4th to 1st in one move, back into the lead. Now which order are the rest of the riders going to go out in? I think Budasel's going to come out in 2nd place. Jones is down to 4th behind Ponziani, and now Naylor's coming through as well. Chloe Jones been relegated from 1st to 5th through the hairpin there. Fantastic shuffle going on at the front of the field in this 2nd WCR race of the weekend. Now going for the inside is Beatriz Naylor through turn 8, but Maria Herrera is back where she wants to be and out in front, looking to increase her championship lead over Beatriz Naylor. If she wins with Naylor down in 4th place, the lead will be up to 30 points and over 50 points clear of Ponziani, who will be 3rd ahead of Chloe Jones. But still 5 laps to go. A lot could still change here at Manicure. This is a fantastic race, and now Ponziani's going for the inside on Lucy Budasel. Doesn't make it stick on the exit of Imola through towards turn 13. Still Maria Herrera it is who leads the way. Her teammate back in 3rd place. Chloe Jones down to 5th and looking to fight back. So it's now a ride-through penalty as well for Taylor Ralph. She hadn't taken those double long lap penalties, and she's going to have to ride through the pits. Yeah,
and for Ralph, obviously it's been a good race up in the top 8 at the moment, but that's going to relegate her all the way down the field, and shame for her, but that's why you have to take those penalties within the 5 laps. And we can see at the top of the shot, it looks like for our race leaders coming through turn 1, once again at 2/3 race distance, Maria Herrera trying to open up that bit of a gap, and she's pulled out 0.4 of a second, but that should come back to the rest of the group over the course of the next couple of corners, as Herrera pushing as hard as she can.
They're all pushing as hard as they can. They're into the back section of the circuit now, up towards turn 4. 2/3 race distance has been completed, so if a red flag should be thrown, full points can be awarded. So it's important to get your positions now, and they're doing just that into the Adelaide hairpin. Herrera will hold the lead. Chloe Jones having a go up the inside. Ooh, squeezes down the inside on the 36 of Beatriz Naylor and up into 3rd place. Budasel could be on for her best ever finish here, up in P2 on the number 17. And Ponziani was the loser there in that little shuffle. She's gone back into 5th position. Just over half a second covers the top 5 at the moment. It's Natalia Rivera in 6th position on the number 20. She's 5.5 seconds further back. Then it's Avalon Lewis, the New Zealander. Ralph's still there in 8th, but she'll be penalised. Justine Pedemonte is 9th, the wild card, and Paquita Ruiz rounds out the top 10. She's just got ahead of Mallory Dobbs, but we focus on this 5-way lead battle. It really has been one of the best races we've seen so far this season for the World WCR Championship, as Chloe Jones up the inside under braking into turn 13, gets the move done. We saw her take the lead there earlier on from Lucy Budasel. She's now taken the Frenchwoman for second position and going after Maria Herrera for the lead. 3 laps to go this time.
Yeah, this is where you need to start really deciding your tactics for how you're going to approach that last lap. Obviously, we're down into that last third, and 3 laps to go when they come across the line. So it means that for the likes of Chloe Jones, where do you want to be on that last lap? Where can you be to try and place yourself to attack Herrera?
Sometimes the place you don't want to be is leading coming into turn 15 here at Manicourt if it's an intense battle such as this, because you are likely to get zapped under braking for that turn 15. You have to defend into the last corner. Then you might get pushed aside during the run through the final chicane. Chloe Jones has just set a new lap record of 151.414 in that second place. Now she'll try and get alongside Maria Herrera on this run through the back straight towards the Adelaide hairpin. Herrera's wise to her, moves across the curb on the inside. Here comes Lucy Budasel up the outside on the 17. Ponziani and Naylor looking on from behind there. 3 wide for the lead, staking under braking there is Budasel, but it's worked very late on the brakes there. And the last of the late breakers has taken the lead. That could be critical for Lucy Budasel, but Maria Herrera is ready to fight back. I've got no idea which way this race is going to go. This is absolutely superb and a great advert for the Women's Circuit Racing World Championship, with 5 riders separated by less than 3/4 of a second out in front. Gabriella Ponziani at the inside at turn 8 takes Chloe Jones for P3, but it's Lucy Budasel who leads the way on home turf here at Manicourt.
Yeah, and you can see for Ponziani there on the 96, just making her progress, knowing that she can't afford to let the riders in front break away from them. Budasel, you can hear the crowd, and they're cheering on their French rider, but Budasel, every lap into turn 5, just finding a way to try and attack and make those moves. Chloe Jones, that's the first time we've seen her make a move into turn 13 at this stage as well. So Jones making sure she's in that 3rd position. That is probably the optimum position to be in the run down in towards turn 5. The only problem is it is quite difficult to have that confidence on the brakes on these bikes down in towards that heavy braking zone.
Chloe Jones and Lucy Budasel's machine seem to be the stronger under braking in this race, as Budasel just takes a little bit of curb there through the first elements of that final chicane. Beatrice Naylor has been in 5th place for a while, trying to fight back on Ponziani. They do not want to let the first 3 get away here. We're into the penultimate lap now here at Manicourt, and Maria Herrera is getting ready to attack Lucy Budasel for the lead. I suspect she'll try and get alongside on the run up the back straight through the kink at Golf, or turn 4 on that back straight. You just kink slightly to the right before you go down towards the Adelaide hairpin towards the end of sector 1. Here they come then. Look at the way Ponziani slips out of the slipstream there. She's got past everybody on the inside. Ponziani, has she struck too early though? They're going to be almost 5 wide again into the Adelaide hairpin. It's going to be last of the late breakers again. Ponziani, a big wiggle on the way, and she may not have the momentum on the way out. No, she moves wide as a result of that late braking, and it's Naylor who's come through into the lead.
Yeah, the important thing is Herrera got hung out to dry a little bit there and dropped down to 5th position in the back of this group. When we come into turn 5 on the last lap, you can see for Chloe Jones, she was on the left-hand side of the track as they came down towards 5, and you're completely boxed out. You have to be on that inside line down the right-hand side of the racetrack, so that's what this race is going to be settled in.
Will we see Maria Herrera finish outside the podium places for the first time in the 2025 WCR season? It is Beatrice Naylor who has taken the lead. Budasel having a go up the inside, using her home knowledge of the Manicourt circuits from the French championships in the past. Here comes Ponziani. Jones again having a look to dive up the inside. She's very strong through turn 13. Doesn't work this time on Roberta Ponziani. They're coming around to start their final lap this time. They've got to plan out their finishing moves in this battle. They're nearly 7 seconds clear of Natalia Rivera, who is still in 6th position. We concentrate on this lead battle, which has been absolutely sensational here around the Circuit de Nevers-Manicourt. Beatrice Naylor will lead the way into the final lap, looking for her 4th win of this 2025 season. Lucy Budasel has never finished on the podium, looks for her 1st win on home turf. Ponziani looking for her 2nd win of the season. Jones looking for her 1st victory after her 1st Super Pole earlier in the weekend. At the moment, Maria Herrera stuck at the back of this group.
Big lead of about 10 bike lengths there for Naylor through turn 3. But look at Ponziani, she's lost ground now at this stage as well. So for Budasel, it might be just her against Naylor for the race win.
And here comes Budasel up the outside. Yes, these two have definitely broken away here as they come towards the Adelaide hairpin for what will be the final time. Naylor's got the inside line. Budasel trying to go around the outside, will try and get the cutback. I don't think she will.
Critical for the championship right now is that Maria Herrera is at the back of this group. Herrera on the number 6 needs to make some moves to give herself the chance to pick up the points.
She certainly does, with Naylor fighting for the lead. Herrera's got to fight her way past Chloe Jones and Roberta Ponziani, her teammate here, to try and get back into third place and at least keep up her unbroken run of podiums this year. Jones up the inside, back into P3 now.
Turn 13 is going to be critical for Chloe Jones. Is she going to be able to attack Lucy Budicel? She's good through the Imola chicane.
Look at this, they've all closed up again here on this final run towards turn 13. Ponziani's going to have a go on the inside into turn 11. We don't very often see overtakes there into him. Look, ooh, Jones just losing the footrest there.
Didn't lose momentum though for Chloe Jones, still able to try and set something up into 13.
And she's got it through as well on the inside of Budicel. She's up into second place. Could we see a last bend lunge from Chloe Jones here, looking for her first ever win? Beatrice Naylor leads the way as they come down towards turn 15. This is going to be critical in the braking zone for the final time. Budicel's going to have a go at the inside. Jones stands on everything, goes up the inside. Is she going to outbrake herself? Oh, it's going to be a frantic run to the line between all five of them. Has Chloe Jones enough? Here comes Naylor up on the outside. They're over the curves. Naylor gets around the outside and snatches the win. Brilliant stuff over the line. Beatrice Naylor wins it.
We'll have to have a little look at Chloe Jones there through that final chicane as well. She had to clatter across the inside of it. She came across in second spot, so the stewards will have a look at that, you'd imagine. But Maria Herrera came through on her teammate Ponziani into that last section as well for fourth position, but only 6 points between the two riders going into the last races of the year at Jerez.
It's going to be an absolute showdown at Jerez in southern Spain in October, the finale to the WCR 2025. Beatrice Naylor, win number 4 for the 2025 season. That's certainly her most spectacular victory yet. What a fantastic race between all 5 of those riders around the Manicourt circuit. So I'm out of breath just watching and calling that race. The riders must be as well. Lucy Budicel gets provisionally her first ever podium in second place. We'll await official confirmation of the podium.
Chloe Jones dropping a position for exceeding track limits in the final corner, like we thought might have been the case. So Jones down to third position. That's important as well because it's an extra 4 points in the championship battle for third, and she'll go to the final round of the season, and she'll be trailing by 7 points to Ponziani. But she's got all that form, very much the form rider in the class. And you can see here for the 15, just had to stand the bike up a little bit and then runs through the chicane. And she doesn't really have a lot of options through there, but that's the penalty that you get for exceeding track limits through that chicane as well, 1 position. And ultimately, she holds on to her podium position, and she's still able to finish in third. But Lucy Budicel, the home rider, able to claim her first podium in second position.
See it from this angle. Look at the air she gets off the curb there, Chloe Jones. She was lucky not to clatter into the side of Beatrice Naylor as she controlled it there. Good control for Chloe there. She didn't have much alternative, as you say, Steve, but to go over the curb there. She threw everything at that last chicane to try and take her first win. But third place behind Lucy Budicel. The cheers of the French crowd will be for the number 17. Her best ever result, her first ever podium in the championship. Chloe Jones has to settle for third place. Maria Herrera, her first finish off the podium this year so far, the championship leader. She's only 6 points ahead now. And Roberta Ponziani completing the top 5. Didn't have the best of starts to her weekend. Less than 7/10 of a second covered the 5 of them as they crossed the line. Lucy Budicel, very proud indeed, receives the French tricolore for a lap of honour. We'll see her head into Parc Fermé along with Beatrice Naylor and Chloe Jones very shortly. Incidentally, Taylor Relf did not take her ride through penalty in time either, so she will be disqualified from the result of that race. We'll await official confirmation of that, of course.
Yeah, and for Ralph, she'll obviously go to the stewards afterwards and plead the case, but ultimately her race, she finished in 8th position, and she'll have to count herself first. Just seeing now on the timing screens that Chloe Jones has been reinstated into second position. You can see it on the left-hand side of the screen, and that's good news as well, because it's a very harsh penalty whenever, like I said, you don't really have anywhere to go. So for Chloe Jones, she picks up those extra 4 points, which means there's only 3 points between her and Ponziani. There's only 6 points in the battle for the championship as well. But Beatrice Naylor, our race winner, 6 points down on Herrera. If she wins both races in Jerez, it's in her hands to claim that championship.
Well, we are in for a real showdown. I'm already looking forward to Jerez in mid-October. The championship finale for all of the World Superbike paddock this year, but the WCR could steal the limelight on that occasion. If we see a battle like that once again in Jerez, this is going to be something very special indeed, especially with two Spanish riders, Maria Herrera and Beatriz Nela, fighting for the championship. So Chloe Jones confirmed reinstated in second position. Perhaps the steward looked at the footage and decided there wasn't really anywhere else she could go on that final chicane. It's a very tricky little corner, that is.
Fourth and second place finishes there for Chloe Jones as well. She's knocking on the door of that first race victory, and it'll come soon.
Look at the celebrations for Beatriz Nela, win number 4 of the season. She's been in the top 4 of every round so far this season as well. Beatriz Nela keeps up her record. Well, she actually has the record of a podium in every race because she fought back for 3rd in yesterday's race as well. And Maria Herrera has now lost that record. That could give Beatriz Nela a slight psychological advantage, possibly.
Well, it's all going to go down to what happens at Jerez, and we've got plenty of time until Jerez. It's the weekend of the 19th of October that we'll have the season closing round the World SBK. So there's 6 weeks for Maria Herrera to think about today's race, and 6 weeks for Beatriz Nela to look at it and say, I wasn't that quick for most of this weekend, but I'm going to go to the final round having closed up that championship deficit by 3 points at the end of the weekend. So it's impressive from Nela. She came into this one 9 points down. She's going to leave it 6 points down.
Well, Lucy Boudicelle comes into Parc Fermé with her first ever podium place in P3. That moves her up to P6 in the championship as well. She goes above Paquita Ruiz, who finished in 9th position in that race. We didn't have time to look at much outside the top 5 there. I can tell you it was Natalia Rivera in 6th position. Avalon Lewis was 7th. Justine Pedemonte, the French rider, the wild card, in 8th place. Paquita Ruiz 9th, and Mallory Dobbs completed the top 10 ahead of Lina Vieillard. Then Jessica Howden, the South African, Astrid Madrigal, Isis Carreno, and completing the top 15 was Liu, the Taipei rider, Chunmei Liu, getting a point in 15th place. The celebrations already beginning down there in Parc Fermé. We'll hear from our top 3 and confirm the championship points very shortly. Just a couple of non-finishers in that one. Of course, Taylor Relf with those penalties, and we lost Madalena Simoes with that fall at turn 13, where she was soon up and okay. Fantastic racing, to say the very least, from our WorldWCR riders. Chloe Jones certainly looks happy with that second place. That first win, I'm sure, is coming very, very soon.
Your definition of happy is different to mine, Dave. I think there's a bit of disappointment there for Chloe, but 4 second place finishes in a row, 5 podiums out of the last 6 races. She's been able to fight it out all the way through this season, and that first win is coming for her, and this was another opportunity for her, but you just got to keep knocking on the door, and there is a World Championship win for her to be had. The good news for her is she'll go to Jerez knowing the track as well. She raced there last year.
Yes, I think pleased and disappointed at the same time is a way to sum up the mix of emotions for Chloe Jones at the moment. Pure happiness for Beatriz Nela. What a great race to win. She was at the back of that group of 5 for the first half of that race before starting to make a move. And that's what we said earlier about knowing when to make your finishing attack towards the front of the field. And Beatriz Nela timed it perfectly. And you can see there just 6 points down on Maria Herrera in the championship standings, with Gabriela Ponciani now only 3 points ahead of Chloe Jones as well. Sarah Sanchez completing a top 5, absent from this race with that broken hand from a spill yesterday. Hopefully she'll be fit in time for the finale at Jerez, and we'll see the full complement of riders in action. Our biggest grid of the season so far in WCR this weekend, with the 26 riders out there, including our wild cards. It'd be good to see a couple of riders returning for injury. We mentioned Isis Carreno, Ornella Ongaro making a return for her home round this weekend as well, after breaking an arm at Balaton Park. Celebrations will begin in earnest on the podium fairly soon then. We'll hear from our top 3 first of all, starting with a very happy Lucy Boudicelle, her first ever WCR podium.
Hi. Lucy, you just achieved your first ever World WCR podium at home in Magny-Cours. Tell us, how do you feel?
Yeah, finally first podium on this first season in World Championship. So happy, and to be here in France and my first podium in France, it's just amazing.
Enjoy it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Lucy Boudicelle didn't have the best of starts to her season. picking up just 22 points in the first 2 rounds of the year in the Netherlands and at Cremona. Then got into the double-figure scores at Donington, slipped back a little again at Balaton Park, and then in the lead battle in the early stages in yesterday's race, but she has come of age in our second race here at Manicourt.
Yeah, really impressive performance from Lucy, and just able to show that Donington wasn't just the one-off as well. Really important for her to be able to do that, but obviously at your home round, even more important to come away with a result like this.
Certainly is, yes, and we'll raise the profile of the championship here at Manicourt as well. Their first visit, as we said, to this classic venue. Runner-up once again then, 4th time in a row for Chloe Jones in second place.
Chloe, you tried until the end. Second position, another podium. What happened in the last corner?
Yeah, I had to go for it. I had opportunity to go for the win. Of course, I'm going to go for the win. Went a tiny bit wide and Naila had the line. It was fair and square. Yeah, she did a brilliant race. And yeah, obviously gutted with second, but if you told me at the start of the year I'd be second, battling with them like that, I wouldn't believe you. So no, to come away with second, obviously wanted the win, but you know, second is, I'm buzzing and can't thank the team, mum, dad, all my sponsors enough.
Well done, Chloe.
Thank you.
Yes, you can see a bit of frustration there for Chloe Jones. She really absolutely went for it there through that final chicane, yo-yoing up and down that top 5 all the way through that race. Maybe she will finally come good at Jerez.
Yeah, for Chloe, she's been able to put herself in the position to be able to win these races, and it'll just click into place and she'll get that one, and suddenly she could win quite a few races. But she's been one of the surprise packages of the season, and she's done a really good job coming in as a rookie to take the fight to the likes of Naila and Maria Herrera through the course of the year.
But the perfect record of podiums continues for our winner today. Celebration starting in earnest. Win number 4 of the season for Beatriz Naila.
Bea, what a race and what a win. You will arrive to Jerez only 6 points behind Maria.
Too much pressure. Yeah, what a race. The level this race was amazing. I'm super happy. Also for my result, but also for the level. And yeah, this victory is for my family, but especially for my mechanic Alan, that this weekend he did a super good job. So this is for you, Alan. I love you. And yeah, thank you to everyone for coming and to support me.
Huge congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, Beatriz.
Certainly the biggest smile here at Manicourt right now for Beatriz Naila. Absolutely elated with her efforts there, a fantastic effort, especially through that final corner. Chloe Jones getting up the inside, but Naila getting the cutback. A fantastic finish between the two of them. Fantastic racing all the way through. Beatriz Naila was, as we said, mainly towards the back of that group of 5 for much of that race. She turned up the pressure in the second half of the race and was able to time it right over the last couple of laps. That's important when you're battling in such a close group as that.
It certainly is, and Naila does what she had to do during that race, and it's going to be a really interesting final race of the year, final round of the year at Jerez, and Naila against Herrera is going to be one of the big stories that we're going to have to follow into that final round of the year. It's just a shame for the WCR riders that we have to wait until Jerez in the middle of October.
Yes, indeed. 2 World Superbike rounds. Before then, of course, in 3 weeks' time, we go to Motorland Aragon. The week before Jerez, we're at Estoril in Portugal. But, the WCR doesn't rejoin us until the finale at the Jerez de la Frontera circuit in the southwest of Spain. But I'm looking forward to that already after a race like that. Certainly the best race that WCR has had this season.
Yeah, a really good race there, and 5 riders fighting it at the front. We've seen good battles through the season in the fights for the race win. If you think back to even the start of the season, Naila against Herrera and Assen. But this has been a 5-rider group at the front of the field, and for Chloe Jones, for Lucy Budasal, 2 riders that we hadn't seen here at the front last year, and we're able to see them jump into the championship and do a really good job. So that's been impressive to see. But the other thing, when you look at the championship going to the final race of the final round of the year, with only those few points between Herrera and Beatriz Naila, think about Assen and the track limits penalty that cost Naila a race victory and gave it to Maria Herrera. Those point swings matter whenever you get to the end of the season.
They certainly do, yes, and riders can be left thinking, well, what might have been. But we'll wait and see what happens at Jerez. The countdown is already on for our riders as they ascend the podium. Lucy Budicel up there in third place, certainly pleasing the home crowd. We could hear them almost above the bikes cheering on there during that race as Lucy Budicel spent that short spell in the lead. Chloe Jones, second place once again, but that first win, I'm sure, is not far away. She has ridden superbly here this weekend, taking her first super pole as well. And Beatriz Naylor, one of the great entertainers of the championship, certainly. Look at the scenes up there on the podium. She is absolutely overjoyed, the Pito Crescent Racing rider. And she'll be the three riders will be about to receive their trophies and bunches of flowers up there. Lucy Budicel taking third place for her best finish in the championship so far. She finished fifth yesterday. The best she'd had previously was a fourth place in the second race at Donington Park. Runner-up placing going to Chloe Jones. She hadn't achieved a podium until the first race at Donington Park. Was battling in the lead group at Donington, but a collision then dropped her back. It's been 4 second places in a row since then. Beatriz Naylor, a winner on opening day at Assen in the second place in the first round of the championship. She won at Donington, she won at Balaton Park as well, and now a winner here in central France at Manicourt.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please, your respect.
Now it's time to hear the national anthem of our winning rider, the national anthem of Spain.
Of Spain.